Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam wa Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa man istanna bi sunnati bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin. Alhamdulillahi alladhi hadana li hada wa ma kunna linahtadi lawla an hadana Allah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilman warzuqni fahman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I would like to welcome you all to another session of ARB 011, Arabic Reading and Writing Made Easy. I'm your instructor, Masood Ahmad Ranginwala. And last time we looked at a brief overview of the history of the Arabic language, its geographic outlay, its original script, and some points about Quranic history early on and the preservation of the language. It was again very brief, and hopefully you obtain some benefit. But now on to the heart of the matter. We're going to inshallah discuss some pointers about the Arabic alphabet and vowels and take it from there inshallah. And may Allah make this journey into this language easy for you. This is indeed a very important pivotal step, and hopefully you will be able to read and inshallah understand the Quran Kareem in its proper fashion. So before we go into and delve into the letters, just want to again highlight that this course is meant for those who cannot read the Arabic or Quran, or those who cannot read the Quran with proficiency. Even though this course will look at and take you through tajweed rules, which are basically the rules of reading the Quran Kareem, so we'll look at the tajweed rules and principles. It is merely an introduction. I was asked by the IOU administration to design this course, but please know that despite being a teacher of introductory Arabic, I myself am a student. I'm not a tajweed master, nor am I a scholar in the very least. And by the way, I'm also studying with a sheikh who is a tajweed expert. So we're in the same boat in a sense. But inshallah, we'll try to walk you through the basics and the most important points of basic Quranic reading, basic Arabic reading, right? So that you can inshallah be qualified to be able to open the Quran Kareem and read it and go forward to the point of hopefully completion in another future course, or with someone who is an expert in tajweed, etc. Okay. Also, please know that we have done our utmost, despite our limitations, to make this course as accurate and precise as possible, so that inshallah you'll be able to read the Quran properly at an introductory level. Of course, we have different stages, so this will inshallah will be the first stage, first step, hopefully, stepping stone. But because of our limitations, being human beings, you may see a lapse or deficiency here and there. You may see an error here and there. In the exam session, you may see certain deficiencies. Okay, but keep us informed if those do come about. Okay, we have done our best to try to minimize them, but no human endeavor is error-free. And we ask that you keep us in your dua and supplication, and also pray for IOU and also its volunteers and teachers, inshallah, as well, because they really, the IOU staff, they really deserve merit, and inshallah, we're all in need of dua. So, in terms of credits for this course, number one source, of course, is the original course ARB 011, which was designed by Dr. Bilal Phillips. He, of course, wrote a text and modified it to design this course, and this text is still being used as the foundation of the course. We're just basically tweaking it a bit and adding some new features to enhance the learning. Another important resource which was used for this course is the text The Art of Reciting the Holy Quran by Dr. Abdul Majid Khan. It's an excellent book. There's many books of tajweed out there, but this book I thought was very precise in its knowledge and approach. So I used this one. Also, the resource, it's in Arabic by Sheikh Ayman Suwaid. And he has a book, famous book, At-Tajweed Al-Musawwar. This is a book in Arabic, but it's excellent, and it's one of the top books out there in general for tajweed, advanced tajweed. I also gained, alhamdulillah, a lot of inspiration and points by Hafiz Wissam Sharif, and he has some excellent videos out there on Tajweed as well, and I've learned many excellent points from him and his great approach in terms of teaching Tajweed to those, particularly those who have little or no knowledge of Arabic. Okay. So, with those credits being given, let's go forward. I think it's again important that we just at least acknowledge those who deserve acknowledgement as we go forward in this course. Bismillah. So, the topic of this course is Introduction to Arabic Letters and the Makhraj. Okay. That term you're going to see again and again. So as we go into this course, it's important to have a reference point. Again, many of us do not have access to a Tajweed teacher or ready access. You know, like when we are free, it's not easy for us to go to someone and just check our Tajweed. I encourage you to try to find someone in the community who you can go to correct and improve your Tajweed. That's very important because this course is limited in that regard. However, if you do not have any such access, it's important to know these two individuals who are Tajweed masters. The first one is Sheikh Khalil Al-Khusari. Sheikh Khusari is basically considered by many to be the reference point for Tajweed. Okay. And Rahimallah, he stands out in many different ways. Number one, he was the first sheikh to record the Quran in audio, full Quran in audio, and his audio is the reference point. In fact, my current teacher recommends him as the reference point for any Tajweed issue. You know, so remember this name, Sheikh Khusari. The other contemporary Tajweed master who I'm going to ask you to know, and I'm going to refer to him very frequently, is Sheikh Abdullah Basfar. Sheikh Abdullah Basfar his Tajweed is renowned. And alhamdulillah, this is the Sheikh who I'm going to be referring to as a reference point for our Tajweed recitations, along with another Sheikh as well. But his Tajweed is excellent, and the audio is also superb as well. In fact, with Sheikh Basfar's recitation, you should be typically able to hear each and every letter. That's how articulate the Sheikh is. May Allah preserve him, Hafidullah. Okay, so Sheikh Khosari and Sheikh Basfar, know these two individuals. Of course, there's numerous superb mashayikh around who have beautiful recitation of the Quran Kareem. But for this point, for this course, I want you to at least use one of these two individuals as your reference point when you do not have someone to check you in terms of your tajweed, because this will be very important. Among all those different mashayikh and qaris out there, or qurra, I would recommend you refer to one of these two when it comes to tajweed, when it comes to correcting and amplifying and improving your recitation. It's a personal decision that I'm using Sheikh Basfar's recitation as a reference point. This was actually the Sheikh who was referred to by my first Tajweed teacher. Okay. Now let's go to the Arabic alphabet. Okay. The Arabic alphabet is composed of 28 letters, specifically 28 consonants. Okay. Each letter is pronounced according to its first letter of its name. So Alif, that first letter, that's the for Alif. Okay, same thing with Ba, Ta, etc. Okay. It is important to note that most Arabic letters do not have an exact English equivalent. Most or many of the Arabic letters do have a near or approximate English equivalent. So that's important. That will help us to learn. But because each letter is according to a specific makhraj, which we'll discuss in 2 seconds, that's why most Arabic letters do not equal the English equivalent. The vowels are represented by diacritical marks on top of or below the letters. That's the vowel. Okay, vowel is not a letter. It's basically simply It's represented by different marks, but vowels are not considered consonants in the Arabic language. Furthermore, you should know that Arabic is written from right to left. Some letters connect to all its adjacent letters. Others only connect to its preceding letter, while others connect to only the letter afterwards. Okay, so the connectivity of letters is variable and changes, depending on the letter, of course. Very important, the last point is each Arabic letter has a makhraj, or a phonetic articulation point. Now, makhraj is the Arabic term. You need to know this. It's very important. We're going to use this term over and over again. This is just such an important aspect of tajweed. The proper pronunciation of each letter depends on making sure that the structures of your mouth are in tune with that makhraj or phonetic point, whether it's the lip, the tongue, the throat. That point is where the proper Arabic letter emanates from. And we'll talk about that in detail. Methodology. First, in terms of this course, we'll look at the letter's morphology, its written form. Of course, we need to know how the letter looks like before we even look at how it's pronounced. If you don't know its morphology or structure or appearance, it's a moot point. Second, each letter will be studied according to its phonetics as we just described or mentioned, makhraj, right? Articulation point. Then we will integrate the alphabet into a word. The Arabic alphabet, again, there's 28 letters. Let's go through it. This is alif. This is ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha. This dot is supposed to be here, but here it's been sort of altered a bit. Dal, dhal, ra, za, sin, sheen, صاد, ضاد, طا, ظا, عين, غين, فا, قاف, كاف, لام, ميم, noon, ha, wow, and ya. Okay. Well, these are the 28 letters of the Arabic alphabet. Each module we're going to be discussing a few letters, maybe like 4 or 3, discussing them in detail, using them in terms of words and vowels and long vowels, and we'll go forward. So this course, the beautiful thing about this course as Dr. Phillips designed it is that any novice, any beginner, anyone who is completely devoid of any Arabic knowledge can come and enter and start learning from day one. Okay. Because in general, many courses, they first go through all the letters of the alphabet, but here we're going to go and study only a few letters at a time, use words, and then go forward and keep on learning new alphabets and their pronunciation, and then this will inshallah allow those who are new Muslims or new to knowledge to learn and gain benefit inshallah. Let's go forward. Makhraj. The phonetic articulation point, as we mentioned already a few times, each letter is pronounced according to a distinct makhraj. That is the letter. That defines what that letter is. Remember, last session we stated that Arabic is an oral language. The Arabs at the time of the Prophet ﷺ were illiterate. Right? It's all about the phonetics. It's all about the pronunciation. That's key. Okay. Non-native speakers need to know the makhraj and practice it sufficiently to correctly pronounce the respective letter. The rules for Arabic phonetics remain consistent, unlike English for many words. That's a positive, right? That makes it easy, inshallah, or easier. The terminology tajweed is useless without understanding the principle or principles, and that's key. I mean, when you study the art of recitation or art of reading the Quran Kareem, often there's many different terminologies in Arabic which are being taught and emphasized. But the terminology in and of itself is useless unless you know the principle. And that's what's going to be highlighted, inshallah, here in this course. The principles are the key thing. Okay, we have to be practical. If we're not practical and we can't utilize certain principles, the terminology becomes useless. Like, for example, makhraj, if you don't know what it is, if you can't apply it, it's completely useless. So we have to make sure we understand the principle behind the terminology. The short vowels. Okay, before we look at each individual letter, it's important to look at the vowels because this is what allows a certain letter to be articulated. Okay. Again, without vowels, consonants are stagnant. They need vowels to be able to articulate. And we looked quickly at the 28 Arabic letters, and it's important before we even study each letter to look at the short vowels because this will allow us to start pronunciating words. Okay. There are three short vowels in the Arabic language. The short English form would be A, U, or E. The A sound, the U sound, or the E sound. Okay. We'll look at that in just a few moments. The makhraj, the place of articulation of all these three short vowels comes from the upper chest area. Okay, the upper chest area is where they come forward. Okay, and they go through. Okay. That's the source of the three short vowels. The first one, okay, is called fatha. Fatha. So the fatha is a slanting line above a letter. So let's, for example, we know the alif. That's the alif. This is the fatha right here. This is the fatha right here. Okay. The ba. This is the fatha. Cha. Sa. Jim. Ha. Dal. Dal, etc., etc. So this mark right here represents the fatha. So what about its makhraj? Okay, this is very important because many people pronounce the fatha, the sound wrong. Okay, it's not like an A in apple. It's not equal to the A. It's a sound. And a nice tip which will perhaps allow you to pronounce this properly is if you just keep the mouth in the neutral position and lower the jaw. So this is the jaw. So just look at my jaw. This is my jaw right here. Okay. I'm keeping this stable and not moving this. I'm going like this. Uh, 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 ba, ta, tha, ha, ja. Again, all I'm doing is just keeping my everything same and just lowering the jaw a bit and basically articulating the sound. It's not ah. That's not a fatha. It's not ah. That's often an incorrect pronunciation of fatha. It's not ah ba. No, it's ba. Okay. So that's the makhraj of the fatha. Fatha, I want you to know this terminology because we're going to use this over and over again. Please note that the A in English has 4 different pronunciations, and this actually can confuse the student, particularly the one who is English or who speaks English. Like the A in father, right? Father, that's not the A, that's not the fatha A. Or late, late. Bat, perhaps bat is the most similar to the Arabic fatha. All these, the A is pronounced a bit different. Let's go forward. In terms of the length of the sound, that's also very important. And in general, if you're reciting properly, meaning that not going too fast, right, reciting in the proper, slow, nice mode, the length of the fatha would be equal to the time it takes to open one finger or 1 second. Okay, so open at one finger or 1 second. Okay. Before the clock, before watches, before time, this is what was used to give the length of sound of the vowels or elongated vowels. 1 second. Okay. So, not that's not that's too short. Or no. 1 second. That's the length of the fatha and all other short vowels as well. 1 second. Using alif, right? This is alif. Is alif is the sound, but alif fatha continued the short vowels. The e stands for the kasra, the kasra, and kasra is a slanting line under a letter. So you have, for example, alif. That's alif kasra. E, B, T, C. Don't worry about memorizing these letters. We're going to go and discuss each letter very thoroughly, bi'idhnillah. G. Okay, so this is the kasra. It basically, you see a slant under a letter. It's a slant underneath a letter. A tip in pronouncing this E, again, just like how many students have problems in pronouncing the alif or the fatha properly, the same is the case for the kasra. The kasra is often pronounced incorrectly, particularly often by those of the subcontinent. And again, it's just a matter of doing the proper makhraj and having the proper mechanics. Okay. A tip in pronouncing the kasra properly is if you make a little smile while making the E sound. Again, while the whole face is neutral. So if you look at my face, look at my lips. So E, E, E. This is the kasra. B, B, D, D, D. Not I, B, not A, B, D. No, that's completely wrong. That is not how a kasra sounds like. It's E, B, T, C, G. Okay? So E sound. E. Not E, B. No, that's more than a second. Let's go forward. So again, as I mentioned before, not A. Length is 1 second again. Using the alif, we already did that. It's E. Let's make a little smile and E. The last short vowel is the U or the dhamma. The dhamma. You say it's like the apostrophe. Okay. The dhamma it's like the apostrophe. Okay. So like, you make quotations. It's like that. Okay. Dhamma. Okay. So this is the appearance of dhamma. Again, above the letter. You can't, this is not dhamma. That's not dhamma. Okay. Okay. So makhraj. A tip in terms of pronouncing this properly is, we said that makhraj is from the upper chest area, but in terms of articulating it properly, it's important because often this is also another vowel which is often incorrectly pronounced. Okay. It's the oo sound, oo sound. So basically, tip would be to make the lips into a small circle and do the oo sound. Oo, oo, not o. O is wrong. Oo, oo. So alif, dhamma, oo. Ba, dhamma, boo. Ta, dhamma, tu. Ooh, boo. Again, look at my lips. Ooh, ooh. Not ooh, not oh. It has to be 1 second. Ooh. Now, one caveat or one disclaimer in terms of this 1 second rule is that you will notice that often, and this is actually probably more commonplace, because we're allowed to read Quran faster than um, the preferred mode, right? If you compare, for example, Sheikh Hosari and his recitation with, for example, Sheikh Sudais or Sheikh Saud or Shuraim, we see that their recitation is a bit more faster, and that's not wrong. Their recitation is not wrong, but it is allowed to make recitation a little faster. And you will see, based on the speed of recitation, the length of the short vowel is proportionally approximately changed. Okay, changed according to the ratio. So, because if you do that, if you make the Dhamma into 1 second where the recitation becomes faster, then the Dhamma can be mistakenly, or the short vowel can actually be mistaken into a long vowel. So that's important. That's one disclaimer, one caveat to know, and we'll look into that and as we go forward into these next few sessions of this course. As we discuss the short vowels, we also need to discuss the stop, the mark of stop on a letter, which is called sukun. Again, another term you need to know. Sukun is not a vowel, but it represents a stop on a letter, a phonetic stop. This indicates or where there is no vowel pronounced. The symbol is one of two. Either there's a small circle there, or there is a almost like a C-shaped thing right here or right here. If the letter has a sukun, the tongue will end on the makhraj of that letter. Okay. So, for example, perhaps you know the recitation or the pronunciation of this letter. This is alif and this is ba. So you do ab, 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 ab. So I stop there. I don't do abba. I don't do abi. I do ab, ab, or at, at. And in these cases, there is a sukun there which stops the articulation. It stops the articulation. And that's called sukun. Stop. And again, using alif would be, this would be how it looks like. Examples of words with sukun. This is ra and dal. Rad, rad. Dal, alif, ra, sukun. Dar, dar. Bayata, bayta, bayta, bayta. So here on the ya, there's a sukun there. Again, if you don't know the letters, don't worry about it. Now let's revisit makhraj, or the articulation point. So we need to familiarize ourselves with the different makhraj, or the Arabic for plural of makhraj is makharij, so that our pronunciation of the Arabic letters is proper. So this is very important. Incorrect pronunciation can lead to a potential heretical meaning. And we'll give you some examples of that. Like, for example, if I want to say heart, okay, heart. The word for heart is qalb. The word for dog is kalb. So if I say, for example, my heart kalbi, that's I'm really not saying qalbi, but I'm saying my dog, not instead of my heart. You see? Or for example, if I say khalaqna, that means we created. A, a word which is mentioned frequently in the Quran, referring to Allah Azza wa Jal when He refers to Himself. But if we say khalaqna, that means the women have created. So if we, instead of doing the appropriate elongation of the long alif vowel, we, instead of saying khalaqana, we say khalaqna, we have attributed a potentially heretical meaning to the whole ayah. Because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about creation, what He created, of course, this is something which is completely erroneous. So you have to be careful, and Arabic is like that. And the same can be said also for other languages as well. But in this case, because we're dealing with the divine words of Allah Azza wa Jal and the noble and the sacred sayings of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, we have to be very careful. And it's important to practice tajweed with a teacher who knows tajweed. It's important to practice with a teacher who knows tajweed. For example, there are many people who know the Quran, who read the Quran on a daily basis, but their tajweed is faulty. There are imams out there who do not know proper tajweed. There are many huffaz, those who have memorized the Quran and their tajweed is not proper. So it is important for you to hunt those people, individuals in your community who have mastered tajweed, who know tajweed, okay, who know the appropriate pronunciation and the rules. It's obviously preferable to have a hafid because usually they're the ones who know tajweed, but not necessarily. Okay, not necessarily. So don't just go to your local imam, but go to the imam who knows tajweed. Very important, and that is a distinction which you should make. And if you don't know, ask those who are knowledgeable. They should be able to direct you. Makharij, or the plural of makhraj, or the phonetic articulation points. Each letter is pronounced according to a distinct makhraj, and again, as we highlighted already a couple of times, we need to familiarize ourselves with the different makhraj. There are 5 areas of makhraj, 5 regions where the makhraj of a specific letter lies. Okay, so here's a schematic of the areas of makhraj. The first area is the upper chest. The upper chest is the first area. Second is the throat. Okay, well, the chest we already discussed. There's vowels, 3 vowels which come from the upper chest. Then there's the throat. Then there's the tongue. Many or most of the letters are related to the tongue. Then there are the lips, and there's also the nose, where a couple of letters are related to the nasal passages. The upper chest leads to the long vowels and also the short vowels. Okay, the long vowels and the short vowels of alif, waw, and ya. And these are not consonant. These are not letters per se. These do not count as the 28 letters, but they're just long vowels. Okay, they can be on top of any consonant, including a vowel, a ya, and an aleph. And we'll discuss that later. I mean, you may get a little confused, but this we're talking about the vowels, because alif, waw, and ya, or you could say in a sense, waw, long vowel, alif is really equal to 2 fathas. 2 like ba, ta. So this is long vowel alif. Similarly, vowel is oo, boo, too, and yeah, e, b. This is where the long vowels stem from. The throat. The throat gives rise to 6 letters. There is the hamza, a, which comes from the most bottom part, right where the voice box is. And then you have the ha, the ha. That's the those are the letters which are the lowest part of the throat. Then you have the middle part of the throat, which gives ain, not a but ain, and ha, which is the middle part of the throat. Then you have the upper part of the throat, and you have the ghain and the kha. Ghain like ghul, and kha, that's the kha, which is the heavy letter, top part. Then you have the tongue, the back of the tongue, which gives rise to 2 letters. Again, tongue is one, obviously, organ, and it gives rise to many different letters. So part of the tongue, the backmost part of the tongue, is the related letters, or very similar letters, of qaf and kaf. The hard qaf and kaf. Ka, qa. Then you have the middle part of the tongue, which gives rise to 4 letters. This is the ya, the jim, sheen, and the side of the tongue, which gives rise to the dod. Then you have the front part of the tongue, which is the ra, the lam, and the noon. Then you have the tip of the tongue, which gives rise to what? More letters. Many letters, actually. You have the sod. You have the seen. Okay, very similar. You have the za. All these have a similar makhraj, and you have ta, dal, and ta. Then you have the dal, the tip of the teeth, tha, and va. So all these are from the front part of the tongue. In fact, these are the tongue against the front incisors, either upper or lower. This is the incisor right here. Incisor right here. This is the uvula. Soft palate is the soft part of the back of the throat, or in the back of the throat. The hard part is the gum line, upper gum line. This is the nose, of course. And then we have the next part, the lips. And we have 4 letters. We have the vav, the ba, the fa, and the meme. Then we have the nose, which is involved and helps in terms of the proper makhraj of 2 letters, the meme and the noon. Meme and the noon are basically nasal letters. Proper pronunciation is relayed directly to using the nasal sound, and we'll look at that when the time comes for that. The meme and noon are important tajweed letters. Okay. So with this we will close. Jazakallah khair for your attendance. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant wa nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يئوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم